Okay, so now in this video we will discuss that changes in risk aversion. How does that impact your SML? Now, like already discussed, the slope of your SML equation. So this is your slope over here and this is your slope over here. So the slope of your SML reflects the extent to which investors are averse to risk, and the steeper the slope of the line, the more the average investor requires as compensation for bearing risk. Now let's assume that maybe the investors were indifferent to risk. That means that they're not risk averse, they are indifferent. उन्हें कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. So they are not risk averse at all. If then that is the case, then the risk-free rate of 6% would also be the required rate of return on your risky assets, because there is no risk aversion, so there will be no risk premium. You do not have to give a higher required rate of return in order to compensate for the extra risk, because your investors are indifferent to risk, and in that case your SML would have been a straight line. But because investors are risk averse, you have a slope over here. So as the risk aversion increases, so does the steepness of your SML line. Okay, so investors are generally risk averse. There will be a risk premium, and the greater the risk aversion, the steeper will be the slope of your SML. Like over here, first the slope was 5%, now the slope is 7.5%. So previously investors were demanding a risk premium of 5%, but now because they are more risk averse, they are requiring a market risk premium of 7.5%. So if you give them a higher risk premium because they are more scared, you need to offer them something even more enticing, that they would want to invest in the stock market. Previously they were ready, okay, we'll invest if you give us a risk premium of 5%, but now because they're more scared, if you offer them a return of 7.5%, a risk premium of 7.5%, they are more likely to invest in the market. So first, a stock which has the beta of 0.5 had a required rate of return of 8.5%, but now it has a required rate of return of 9.75%, because now the investors are more risk averse. They require a higher rate of return in order to compensate even for a 0.5 beta, and similarly a beta of 1. First the required rate was 11%, now it's 13.5%. So even your market risk premium is going to increase more. Over here you can see that the increase was only this much, but now over here the increase is more, and for a riskier stock the increase is even more. So over here where the beta was 1.5, over here first they required a return of 13.5%, now they require a return of 17.25%.